Laura! Laura! Oh, I can't believe I made it. Everything looks just like I remember it.
All right, you ready to go? Oh my, what are you wearing?
Oh, I'm sorry, Laura. This must be very disorienting for you, but I've come to warn you. You see, I'm from the year 2015.
Okay, and you're wearing your pants inside out?
All the kids wear their pants inside out in 2015.
Well, you're 30, so...
There's no time! Listen, in a minute I'm going to come through that bathroom door, and I'm going to try to convince you that we should order out instead of watching the highest-grossing film of 1985, Back to the Future. It is absolutely imperative that you convince me to watch that movie!
Okay.
Great Scott! That's me. If I see the 2015 version of myself, it could create a time paradox which would unravel the entire space-time continuum!
Do you even know what a space-time paradox is?
Hey, I was thinking...
Let's just watch the movie.
Oh, okay. So, welcome, YouTube, to Cinescrubs.
Doc? Lorraine, my density has brought me to you.
What? Well, that was heavy.
Oh, what a fantastic movie.
It makes me want to bring back everything 80s.
Oh, it does not make me want to. But it's a great film. It's the perfect popcorn movie.
I mean, I think it's a perfect anything movie. I could eat anchovies with that. I could eat
Well, by
cookies.
popcorn movie, I mean, it's not deep or anything. But it's just perfectly paced, perfect acting, performances. The whole thing just flows. There's never a point when you as an audience member are like, I could go do something else. It's
Well,
great.
I definitely, as an audience member, did occasionally go, I don't know if your time travel theory is fully...
It's ripples. It's all ripples. It is like a pond.
But it still didn't quite...
I mean, to me, it's sort of like a 1980s version of Pirates of the Caribbean.
There were no pirates.
No, there were no pirates. But to me, Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, that is, I could watch it 100 times, right? The pacing, the action sequences.
It always
just
holds
phenomenal.
up.
Always holds up.
Now, I love this movie. I loved this movie so much that once we finished the first one, I turned to Zac and begged to watch the second and the third as well.
And we did that. We've seen all three at this point.
But now that I've looked at it in terms of gender and race...
That is sort of the problem with this process, right? There's, what's that phrase? You don't want to see how the sausage is made. You don't want to look too closely at some of these favorite movies of the past.
I've never heard that before. I don't want to see how the sausage...
You don't! It's not good. It's not good. And in this case, the sausage is made mostly with white dudes.
Yeah. There were people of color. They did exist. But it did feel like there was some weird attaboys. There was an African-American character who... in the 80s, was being reelected for mayor, and then they went back in time and showed how bad it was for him in the 50s.
Oh, he couldn't have been mayor in the 50s, but now in the 80s, we've solved racism.
And then there was the really uncomfortable moment for me where, there's an awesome rockin' band of black folks, Then Michael J. Fox comes in and teaches them how to do rock and roll.
I think maybe you're reading a little bit too much into that one. I mean,
No.
yeah, they just want to make a little gag.
No. No. Michael J. Fox is like, and like, there's a black man off on the phone, like, hey, remember that sound you were looking for? That new sound?
You're right, and that's all the black characters in the film. So, I mean, if they weren't making a gag with black characters, they pretty much didn't have to.
If they weren't making a joke about cultural appropriation or an attaboy about racism being fixed.
I do want to give them a little bit of credit for their use of women, though. Like, the movie opens with a newscaster who happens to be a woman. If you're looking at, like, all of the characters, the extras, the minor roles, there's a lot of women. By my count, there were 13 women out of 43 characters, which...
So by a lot, he means better than...
I mean, look, we watched Revenge of the Sith, and there were literally 2 out of, like, 50. This was 30%. It was 70-30. It's certainly not 50-50. It's not even close, but better...
I will give it better.
And also, Leah Thompson's character is fantastic. Like, I do want to give some credit there.
Phenomenal job.
She does a phenomenal job. She is a character with agency, right? She makes choices. She moves the plot forward. Not like a typical princess to be rescued or anything.
No, she's hilarious.
And in fact, George McFly, he is the princess to be rescued. He's the MacGuffin, right? Of course, the protagonist, Doc Brown, Marty McFly, they are still men.
So there we are.
There we are. Great film. Great popcorn film.
Enjoy it, and then remember that black people invented rock and roll.
So, join us next episode when we scrub back to 1975, when the highest grossing film was Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Oh, no. It's gonna be scary. I hate scary movies.
Well, it was 1975, so the shark is basically made out of poster board and spackling compound.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad.
And it's also fantastically shot and scripted, and I'm still afraid to go in the water 20 years later.
What? But we were just at the beach this summer.
And I could hear that damn tuba in my head the whole time.
Great. If you want to watch with us, it's available on Blu-ray and DVD or through digital rental on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube.
Did you like what we did? Do you agree, disagree with our data? Want to see us look at something differently? Leave questions and comments in the section below. And until next time...
Are you gonna do this every time?
You can't keep a good scrub down.
Please keep the suggestions coming on a sign-off. We will start trying them out next episode.
To scrub or not to scrub?
Not to scrub. Not to scrub.
Scrub-tacular, dude!
Not to scrub.